Hello, Internet. This is Annie Hardy, and this is my very first vlog, which is really exciting. This first vlog is a Q&A, so I am answering your questions. I'm excited to share a little about my background and my writing experience with all of you today. So let's get started. I get my story ideas from all over. The Chance You Won't Return started out with a line that just popped into my head. My mother thinks she's Amelia Earhart, and that's really the core idea of the story. Other stories have started out with just characters, really not knowing where they're going to be going long term, the specific voice or setting. So yeah, really, ideas can come from anywhere. Usually I don't know where I'm going when I start. I have a general idea of things I want to hit, but I don't have an outline. So things are pretty loose in the first draft. I'm really just trying to figure out the characters and get a sense of who they are and why they do what they do. And hopefully the plot comes along with that. Not always, though. Sometimes that's a major part of revision. That is a really good question. I had a really nice childhood, so I'm going to pick one memory that I just really enjoyed and sticks out for me. When I was around 5, I was taking swimming lessons. I had a little, like a bubble, which is a little piece of foam that you wear around your waist so you can float. Although I don't know how well those actually work. But during my swimming lesson, I didn't wear it because I was learning how to swim the right way. And then afterward, I was out of the pool and I'd noticed that my bubble had fallen into the pool. Danger. And I jumped in after it. I was like, I have to get this. And I swam to it and I got it. And I was swimming back when I noticed my parents and my swim coach were on the side of the pool and they were cheering. And I didn't realize that I had kind of forgotten my fear of kind of swimming without this bubble and just jumped in, thinking that I had to rescue it. And it was the first memory I have of me really kind of being bold, which was a very nice feeling. Definitely character. Usually I can figure out character way before I know what this character is actually doing. For me, I like finding out about character first. It really helps me figure out what is driving the action. So I'm going to say that that's a benefit, and figuring out who your characters are before you try to set them on the road for plot glory. I am a total pantser and I am proud of it. And I think that people who outline are great, but I think us pantsers don't get enough credit. I think when I start a first draft, I really just want to dive in and I have a general idea of where things are going, but I like being able to figure out with the characters who they are and what they want and what their journey is. Yeah, being a pantser is great. Don't let anyone tell you that you have to outline if you don't want to outline. Okay, if you are in Boston or the general Boston area, you need to go to Hungry Mother in Cambridge. It is Southern food, like high class Southern food, and it is amazing. It is some of the best food I've ever had. So if you want delicious grits and get really good drinks with it, go to Hungry Mother. Alternately, if you want pizza and beer and ice cream, you should go to Pico in the South End. It's basically like an adult version of the best sleepover foods that you've ever had. And their chocolate ice cream is amazing. So you should get their chocolate ice cream and tell them I sent you. And they won't know who I am. Oh, also, if you are like me and you consider scones, they're really near and dear to your heart, then you should go to Clear Flower Bakery. You can't sit there. There's like just a tiny, tiny storefront, but they have the best breads. And you have to stand in line, but that's okay. The line moves pretty quickly. And you can get baguettes or morning buns, but their scones are amazing. And then you can take it outside with a cup of coffee, eat on a nice day. So that's a full weekend in Boston for eating. What happens for me is that I have difficulty figuring out what the next step should be in a particular work. So I'll get stuck on a particular scene and really not know how the characters are interacting and, try and rewrite and go back. And if it's really not working, sometimes even just getting up from the desk is really helpful. Several times I have been stuck, gotten up to go get a drink of water, and thought, oh, that's how it should happen. Showers, classic, or walk. And one thing that helps me is just reading other people's work. I find it very inspiring. I know whenever I'm reading something that I really like, I think my brain starts firing and I think, oh, I really love that turn of phrase. Like, oh, but what if they had phrased this other thing like that? And oh, I wonder what's going to happen over here. And I think that really helps me see different paths for particular works. The most glamorous part about being a writer, I think, is that you're kind of a public figure in a way that doesn't happen with most other jobs. I'm really excited that The Chance You Won't Return is going to be in the hands of readers that I don't even know. Hopefully, in the hands of readers I don't even know. Maybe my mom will buy it, which is cool too. I feel like it's awesome to think that some work you've done connects you with someone who lives across the country or the world and maybe going through something similar, and you can connect with them at that level. And people want to seek you out. I know I certainly want to seek famous writers out and go to readings that they do and get to hear them and meet them and have them sign my book. That's definitely the most glamorous, classically glamorous part. The most unglamorous part is probably that I think everyone has a very different idea of what being a writer means than what it actually means. In movies and on TV, you sit at your computer and you type for about 10 seconds, and then there might be a montage of you being frustrated, but then it's a montage of you typing again, and it's a beautiful draft. Everything's perfect. Print, books in stores the next day. And you're paid tons of money to sit around and write. And in real life, that's definitely not the case. Most people I know who are writers have day jobs. We're not all riding off on our diamond ponies. Even people who are really talented and really successful are not riding off on their diamond ponies. And if they are, it's probably not a wise business investment. And I think people don't realize that it takes a lot of work. All of you writers out there already know this. You don't just sit down at the computer and it magically comes to you. It's a lot of thought and writing and revision and revision and revision. And even then, if you have a wonderfully crafted book, it's not necessarily going to get to an agent or an editor or a bookstore. It's really tough. And I think that people see it as something that's so beautiful and glamorous and works out perfectly. But us writers know that it really takes a lot of stamina. And so props to you all writers out there. We're holding it together. So yeah, those are my questions. Thank you so much for tuning in, any of you who are actually watching this. Hopefully there'll be more in the future and you'll get to see me and the It's a Wonderful Life poster behind me. It's probably mostly what you'll see, me and Jimmy Stewart and Donna Reed talking to you from the internet. Yay! Have a great night, everybody.